Today we want to take a look at small sample size, and we're going to be calculating what's the mean, median, mode, and range. Right? Here you have a small diagram where it more or less shows you what we're going to need to accomplish by the end of statistics, or this the topic statistics. We started off with identifying population, then taking out a sample, and then the sample is either divided into quantitative data and qualitative data, which is where we are at this point. We're going to be moving on to finding out what is solving small sample size, finding the three measures of central tendency, the range, the measures of dispersion, semi-interquartile range, and so on. We're going to be doing it for a small set of data, a large set of data, and then in the large set of data we have the ungroup frequency table where we don't need to group our data that we collect, and then we're going to do solving the same thing. And then we have a large set of data, group frequency table, where we need to group our data, and then that's going to be the same thing: mean, median, mode, range, dispersion, semi-interquartile range, and so on. Right? And then lastly, we're going to be taking a look at the ogive and then probability. All right, let's start. In terms of a small set of data, we're talking about 15 numbers or less. I most of the time like to keep it to 10 numbers, but that's why it's called a small set of data, because you have a small sample. It's just 10 numbers. Like for example, if you want to find what is your average, you would just take your 5 grades, your 6 grades, 7 grades, depending on how many you have, and then you're going to continue from there on. Right? So that is a small sample size, or a small set of data. It is 3 statistical averages, or 3 measures of central tendency. 3 statistical averages or 3 measures of central tendency. That's what we want to find out. And what are they, or which one are they? It's going to be mean, median, mode, right? So we're going to be working with that. It says in statistics, an average is defined as the number that measures the central tendency of a given set of numbers. There are a number of different averages, including both but not limited to mean, median, and mode. Right? So those are the 3 measures of central tendency, or the statistical averages: the mean, the median, and the mode. The mean. How do we get the mean? The mean is the average. I think most of you guys know how to get the average. It's the one that we most commonly use. Mean is what most people commonly refer to as an average, right? Find what is your average, and so on. The mean refers to the number you obtain when you sum up a given set of numbers and then divide this sum by the total number in the set. Mean is also referred to more correctly as arithmetic mean. So if you hear arithmetic mean or average, they're all the same thing. They're telling you find what is the average, right? So we have the formula here. Mean is x bar equals to this e looking thing, x over n. What does that e looking thing mean? It means sum of numbers. Mean equals the sum of the numbers, which is the x, which are the numbers that you're gathering, over n. What is n? The amount of numbers that you have, right? So that is what we have. So, example, it says Rahim collected the number of family members from the families in his neighborhood. The data is as follows: 3, 8, 6, 9, 7, 6, 2, 4, 7, 5, and 1. Which means that he went about asking how many family members within your family, and then the response that he got is, when he reached to maybe his first neighbor, he got an answer of three family members, 8 family members, 6 family members, 9 family members, 7 family members, and so on. So that is what he got. It says calculate the mean for the following set of numbers. How do we calculate the mean? The mean is going to be the formula here. Mean equals summation of x divided by n. Mean equals to, you add all the numbers, which is 3 plus 8 plus 6 plus 9 plus 7 plus 6 plus 2 plus 4 plus 7 plus 5, and then plus 6, which is plus 1, sorry, which is the last one there. And then you divide it by the amount of numbers that you have. So how we get that? That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 numbers. So n equals to 11 numbers, and that is what we have here. If we add all the numbers here at the top, we will get 58. And if we divide it by 11, we get 5.272727, right? So the mean is going to be 5.27. How many decimals you need to stop? Don't worry, in this case you could put it as 5.27272727 if you want to continue, or if you want, you could just stop at the first two. 5.27, that's it, right? So that is what we have for the mean. So that is the first measure of central tendency. The second one that we have is going to be the median. In terms of the median, we have that the median is the middle. The median is the middle of a sorted list of numbers, meaning that you will have to first arrange your data, right? And let's take a look at the example. Rahim collected the number of family members from the families in his neighborhood. Again, it's the same example. The data is as follows, and then you have the numbers. Calculate the median for the following set of numbers, and then what we have, 1, and then we have the numbers, and then the first thing that we need to do is to arrange. We need to put it from smallest to biggest, or biggest to smallest. That is what we need to do, right? So as you take your data here, you will put it from smallest to biggest. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, because there are 2 6, 7 7, because there are 2 7s, 8 and 9. That is what we have, right? And then what we're going to be do, how do we find the middle number? That's very easy. You would separate them. You would go one in, one out, on from one of the lowest number, then one of the largest number, then go back to one of the lowest, and so on. So if you notice, 1 in, 1 out, 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 and we end up with 6 being the middle. Now notice that that is just a single number, so the median here is going to be 6. A second example, because you could have one of these two. You could have a single number, or you could end up with two numbers like what you are seeing on the second example. It says calculate the median for the following set of numbers, and then you have the numbers given here. First thing that we need to do, again, arrange data in ascending order, which is from the smallest to the biggest. You don't have any one like this one, so you don't put any one. So you start off from the smallest, which is going to be 2, and then 2 2's there, 3 4 5, then 2 6 1 2, then 7, then 8 and 9. That is what we have. Again, you separate them, one from the bottom, one from the smallest number, one from the largest number. One in, one out, one in, one out, one in, one out, one in, one out, and then we end up with two numbers being the middle. We cannot have two numbers, so what we need to do is find the average of the two numbers. Average of the two numbers. If we average the two numbers, you're going to say 5 plus 6 and then divide by 2, where my median equals to 5.5, right? And then that is what we have. So that's going to be for median. The mode, we have the mode. The mode is going to be much easier. In this case, it says the mode. The mode are numbers which appear most often in a set of numbers / data. If there is one number as the mode, we have a unimodal. If there are two numbers as the mode, we call it bimodal. If we have three numbers as the mode, we call it trimodal. And then after, or we have more than three, we just call it multimodal. Right? So if you get one number to be the mode, then it's uni. If you get two, bimodal. If you get three, trimodal. And if you get more than three, it's going to be multimodal. We don't continue specifying any other. Right? So what is the mode? The mode is the number that appears the most. Appears the most. Once you have your data, then you find the number that appears the most, and that's going to be your mode. Determine the mode. You have 6, 7, 8, 8, 8, 9, 10, and 10. What we have, if you notice, 6 appears one time, 7 appears one time, 8 appears 3 times, 9 appears one time, and 10 appears 2 times. Which one appears the most? If you notice, that's going to be by 3 times the number 8. Hence, mode 8 appears 3 times and 10 appears 2 times. 8 is the most. Mode equals to 8, which appears 3 times, called unimodal because it is a single number. Right? Let's take a look at another one. The other example here at the bottom, it says determine the mode. You have the set of numbers here, and then we have how many it appears. Notice that what I have here, I have the numbers. I don't write it twice, so 7 7. I don't write it twice because what I will do is I place x's under it to say how many I have. 1, I have 1. 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1. 6 appears 2 times. 7 appears 2 times. 8, 1, and 9, 1. So all of them appear, but the one that appears the most is going to be this 2 here, because it appears twice, 2 times, 2 6s and 2 7s. So the one that appears the most is going to be 6 and 7 by 2 times. Mode 6 and 7 appearing 2 times. So once you list out and you figure out how many they appear, you just take a look at which one appears the most or which one has the largest number, and then that is going to be your mode. Like in this case, 6 appears twice and then 7 appears twice. The most is going to be by 2 times, and then that's going to be the number 6 and 7. So 6 and 7 is my mode called bimodal. It was my mode appearing 3 times called unimodal. If you have a trimodal, then you might have an additional 9, then that would have made it x here, and then that would have made it 2. So you would have 9, 7 and 6 appearing 2 times called a trimodal, and so on. But it's not within the example, right? So that is if you would have a trimodal. Any questions to this? What I want you guys to do is I want you guys to try out the example or the exercise that I have for you. For example, I have here, find what is the mean, find what is the median, and what is the mode. You have 10 of them to do, so please complete as soon as possible, upload for me to see, and then provide feedback. If you have any question, please post as soon as possible.